So for a long time now, I have wanted to start filming videos. And if you've been following anything that I've been doing, I have been doing that for about, I don't know, like 2 months. And my content is not wonderful yet. My video quality is not great. But I started. It was something that I wanted to do, and I had procrastinated for a very long time. And I would just come up with another excuse and another excuse, and I'd keep preparing for it, and then I'd get, analysis paralysis, and I just would never follow through. I would never do it. And that went on for, I don't know, probably a few years. I'd keep having ideas of things that I wanted to talk about and film and whatever, and I just wouldn't do it. And one of my stumbling blocks, mentally, I guess, was that I didn't think that I had the right tools to do it. Like a fancy light or a fancy camera, or I just worried about little things like that. But anyway, and so I kept procrastinating, and I had this whole list of I'd already put together this whole list of topics that I wanted to talk about, and so I was kind of ready that way, but I kept putting it off because I don't know, there were lots of reasons, but one of them was that I didn't have anything to hold my camera, like a tripod. And actually, I don't even have a camera. I just had my just my iPhone and my iPad. And so because I didn't have anything that would work as like a tripod, I just didn't do it. I just procrastinated. And one day, I was so sick of myself. I was so, just annoyed with myself that I wasn't following through on one of my goals, that I went out to my garage, into my shop, and I put together my own, like in like 30 minutes, I put together my own camera holder. And I'll show you what that looks like. Check this out. This here is the world's fanciest tripod. Actually, it's a quad pod. It has 4 legs. This is what I've been using to hold my iPad or my iPod. This is a stool from our kitchen. This blue thing right here is a wood clamp, and this long metal one is also a wood clamp. I'm a carpenter. I did that for a few years for a living, and so I have a full shop full of tools and all that kind of stuff. So there are my 2 wood clamps. The one holds it to the stool. The one actually holds the camera or iPad or whatever. Check this out. You can adjust it as far as you want. I could put the world's largest tablet on this thing, and it would hold it just fine. Or my phone or whatever, to hold it rock solid, and it was sweet. This was actually kind of tricky to make, but because I was so determined, I made it really fast and it worked out. So it's just a block of wood on the bottom, and then a couple triangles for strength and support. But the main thing is this this fancy tube. Anyway, so long story short, all it is 4 pieces of wood that I glued together that fit this the neck of this clamp really tight, so it can't go anywhere. It slides in and out, but it's super tight, so it holds it really solid. And that, my friends, is what I've been using for the past 2 months to film my videos on this chalkboard. I also made this chalkboard. It is not fancy, but it has done the job. And it got me off my butt, and it got me started. And this is my new setup. It's a giant ring light, 18 inches. And it is, excuse the mess, I just opened a bunch of boxes, and this ring light was in one of them. It's an actual tripod instead of the quad pod over there. So it's the real deal. It's a sweet light. It works really well. If you can't tell, it is much dimmer in here because I had to turn this off to be able to film it. And check this out. It's not a clamp system. It's a spring-loaded phone holder. That's pretty cool. Big improvement from the quad pod clamp setup. Now you're probably wondering why I showed you that. And it's actually a pretty powerful principle, I think, in my opinion, which is that you just have to start. Like, I procrastinated for years not doing something, not making videos, and not progressing because of something stupid like I didn't have something to hold a camera. Like, how dumb is that? So I spent 30 minutes, I went out in the garage, and I made that. And I know that that's not something that everybody can do, but that's what was in my means of doing. So the point is, just do whatever is in with it. Just do whatever is within your means. You know, get started. I procrastinated for 2 years at least, and so I've lost 2 years of progress. Everybody sucks at the beginning. I suck at the beginning. I don't produce great content, but I will, because I've started working on it, and I'm determined to keep going, and things will get better, and I'll produce better quality content. My equipment will get better over the years. You know, I'll just get better. That's what it takes. It takes time. But the longer you wait, you know, you're not going to move anywhere. I'm sure you're like me. Everybody's the same. We all think the same way. We procrastinate. We put things off because we don't think we're ready, and we overthink it. We're worried about what other people are going to think if it's not great. But who cares, man? Just start. There's this quote by Martin Luther King that it was actually my quote of the day today that perfectly sums up this principle. It's actually behind me on the board, but it's by Martin Luther King Jr. Oh, check that out. That's my daughter's, my 18-month-old daughter's beautiful rainbow chalk artwork. It's nice. Luckily, I have it written down in front of me, too, so I will read it to you. It's by Martin Luther King Jr., and he says, "If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward." I was really glad that I found that, because it perfectly embodies the principle that I'm talking about, which is, man, you see successful people. You see them all the time because they're the loudest. They get the most attention, so they're the ones that get noticed. And so that's who you see all the time. You see all these people flying. You see all these people that have already achieved great things, and you think that you can somehow skip the steps to get there, that's easily attainable. It is attainable, but it's not that easy. And you don't start out flying. You just don't. And so I think that this is incredible wisdom in Martin Luther King Jr. that man, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But you have to start crawling. You know, so wherever you're at, do that. But you know, we definitely don't start by flying. I am in the crawling phase. I am at the beginning of filming things and producing good quality content and helpful information for people that watch and follow. And I'm crawling. If you're following, it's probably pretty obvious that I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm trying, and I'm crawling. And I hope to walk and then run and then fly eventually. So that is my invitation to you to just start. Whatever your ambition is, whatever your goal is, to just get started and start with crawling. Use whatever means you have. Improvise, you know. Do something dumb like build a clamp setup for your camera. If you can't do that, do whatever you can do, you know. Just figure it out. Because the sooner you start, the faster you will progress, and the sooner you will reach your ambitions and your goals. The longer you put it off, the longer it's going to take. So just start. Every person who has ever achieved anything will tell you that you have to start crawling. You just have to start and try and get better and suck really bad at the beginning and just put your work in and get better at it. I know that's how success is achieved. You start small and you grow into something better. And at the very, very, very least, you will have a great story to tell when you get to the top of the mountain. You'll be able to tell about your humble beginnings, where you came from, the dumb things you did, the terrible videos you produced, whatever it is, you'll have a good story. Well, thanks a lot for watching. I hope this was helpful. If you like what you saw, please like, subscribe, share it with whoever you know that could benefit from this important information, and get started. I'm Jake DeWilkins. Thanks for watching.